Okay, we're gonna get right back in it. So this is the back side of the practice sheet that we're doing together. So the first side, you should have just watched the video that went through those first 3 word problems. And now these are the 2 that are on the back side. These are gonna be exactly like what you're gonna be doing on your homework for tonight. So this is a really good practice of how you're gonna kind of set things up and kind of work through them. So we're going to get started on these 2 practice problems. You guys can then watch the video of these ones, work through the problems on your own, either if you have a printed off sheet or just do the work on a piece of paper. I know it's a little bit harder to draw all these parts out, so hopefully you can have a printed copy, and especially for your homework tonight, this is what all of your homework is going to look like. So having a printer is going to be really nice to have this whole thing printed off. But here we go for this one. So, Alicia had a water bottle that was full before recess. During recess, she drank some of her water. After recess, she saw that she had 1/6 of the bottle full of water. What fraction of the bottle's water did she drink? Not break, because she used an unbreakable water bottle. All right, so we're going to underline our sentence. We're going to go back in and we're going to find what's the most important numbers here. So she drank 1/6 of the bottle. Or no, she had 1/6 of the bottle left, and I don't see any other numbers here. So hopefully your mind is going, well, I think I need another number to do an equation. And it's kind of hiding up here. She started with a full bottle of water before recess. After recess, she only had 1/6 of a bottle left. So what do you think the equation is going to be that we're going to use to set up with our variable? Well, if she has 1/6 left and a full bottle, this is broken down into 6. So what do you think the first number is going to be? And I bet you said 6/6, because that's 1 whole or 1 full bottle. Now, we're looking for how much she drank, and we don't know how much she drank, but we do know that she had 1/6 of the bottle left when she was done with recess. So if we do this subtraction, then that variable that we're looking for should give us the answer to how much she drank during recess. So 6/6, which is her full bottle, minus the 1/6 that is left, should give us the answer. And this should be pretty easy. 6/6 minus 1/6 is 5/6. So we know what we're going to be looking for is her drinking 5/6 of her bottle. Well, it's really nice because they gave us the tape diagram. So we know when we're doing the tape diagram, each one of the boxes is going to represent 1/6 of the bottle. And again, this whole thing right here is the full bottle. Okay, now she had only 1/6 left when she came in from recess. So how much would she have drank then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she drank 5/6 of the bottle, leaving her with 1/6 left over. So to answer the question, what fraction of the bottle's water did she drink? Our sentence would be, Alicia drank 5/6 of the bottle of water. All right, so that was pretty straightforward. Now, I know some of you might have been thrown a little bit about not having a number up here, but again, if you remember, 1 whole, well, this is broken into 6, so 6/6 is a whole. I'm looking for how much she drank. I didn't know how much she drank, so if I take what I have left over and subtract it, then that answer will give me what she drank, okay? All right, problem practice number 2. Antonio and his brother went walking on a 2-mile trail. They walked 3/4 of a mile, then stopped to drink water. They walked another 3/4 of a mile, then stopped again to watch a deer. How many more miles do they need to walk to finish the 2-mile trail? All right, so how many more miles? So we know it's a 2-mile trail. We know they walked 3/4 of a mile and stopped. They walked another 3/4 of a mile and stopped again. So if I look at my number line here, I've got fourths. These luckily are broken into fourths already, so I know I started at 0. I want to label my number line just to make it easier for me. 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, and we know that's 8/4. And then I'm even going to go in here. That's 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4, and then we know that is going to be 2. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm not sure about. So I know that they walked 3/4 of a mile and they walked another 3/4 of a mile. So those are the things that I know in my equation. So I could start 3/4 plus 3/4 equals X. Okay, and from there it's pretty easy. 3/4 and 3/4, 3 plus 3 is 6. So I got 6/4, right? Well, if I look at my number line, I need to get all the way to, what did I write 8s there? Oh, 8/4, sorry. I need to get all the way to 8/4, and I'm at 6/4. So if I want to get the real answer of how much they have left to walk, my second equation then is going to be 8/4 minus 6/4 equals X. And if I look at 8 minus 6, I know that's 2. So I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be 2/4 of a mile that they still needed to walk. But if I wanted to write it a different way and maybe put all these equations into one big long equation, I can start with the 2 miles that they walked. From that 2 miles, and this is kind of the same thing with the last problem, I'm going to subtract 3/4 plus 3/4, and that would leave me with my variable answer as well. So either of these ways is going to be an okay way. This is like a 2-step problem in order to solve it. This is kind of putting everything in one equation. So this would go 2 minus 6/4 equals X. Now, we know that we know that 2 is 8/4. I can subtract 6/4, and I'm still at 2/4 again. Now let's see how this works out on our number line. So they go 3/4 of a mile. So 1, 2, 3, and then they stop. And they're going to drink some water. So I'm going to make some water drops here. Okay. Then they walk another 3/4 a mile and stop. 1, 2, 3. They stop right here, and they're going to watch a deer. So I'm going to draw a deer. It looks like he has an antenna on his head from a TV. All right, so they stopped there to watch a deer. And if I look at, they came this far from got water, they came that far, they stopped and watched a deer, how much further do they have to go to finish the trail? 1/4, 2/4, which is exactly what our answer is. So how many more miles do you need to finish? Antonio and his bro need to walk 2/4, and we know 2/4 is really 1/2 of a mile to finish the trail. All right, so this is using a visual model of either a tape diagram or a number line, coming up with our equation with our variable as our open sentence, and then once we figure all our work out, putting into words what the answer is that answers the question that we underlined when we did UCBs. Now, your homework tonight is this exact same thing. You're going to have several problems. I think there's 8 of them. They're going to be broken out just like this, and they're a little bit more challenging, but I'm going to be posting the answers. So you guys give the homework a shot. If you get stumped, persevere. I really want you to push through. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you, it's too hard. I miss saying that to you guys. And when you guys are doing this, take a look at the work, see what it's asking, come up with your equations, and then try. And then if you totally get stumped, then you can go into the answer documents that I'm going to share later on in Google Classroom, and you can kind of see what my work is. That's going to trigger your brain to go, oh, now I get it. And then you can finish your work from there. Just don't copy my work. That's not your work. But you can use my work to kind of help guide your thinking. That's totally appropriate. All right, I'm going to shut this video down because it's going to take a while for it to upload, but I'll send this into Google Classroom. You can watch both these videos to go with the practice work, and then your homework assignment, I'm also putting on Google Classroom. It's Ronald and Ariel's Fractional School Day. Your parents also have a link in their emails where you can hopefully print that off and work on it on the printed copy. If not, you're going to have to kind of draw these boxes and kind of go from there to show your work. So it's going to take you a little longer. Don't forget about your math fact practice too that I talked about in Google Classroom. And we'll kind of talk to you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a good rest of your day, guys.